CNBC releasing its annual list of top states for business this week. Coming in at number 35, Connecticut. The state, which ranked high in education, did finish toward the bottom, 43rd place for economy, infrastructure, and cost of doing business. But Connecticut's new governor, Ned Lamont, is trying to turn the state around. He joins us now. Welcome, Governor. Nice to see you.
Hey, good afternoon. It's a turnaround. We're making progress.
You got a lot of D's on the economy, on doing business. How are you going to turn it around?
You're a tough grader. But
it wasn't me.
Hey, we went from 37 to 35. See, we're rising on up. Here's what we had to do. We had to get an honestly balanced budget done on time without raising taxes. We did that. That hasn't happened in a long time in this state. Secondly, what we've got to do is we got to invest in infrastructure. You told me we're not doing very well on your rankings. That means really transportation, rail, as well as highways and bridges. We're an old state, old infrastructure, and we got to make the investments to turn that around.
Is there any tax at all you would consider increasing if it did fund a necessary infrastructure project?
I prefer an idea of electronic tolling. We're the only state on the eastern seaboard that doesn't do electronic tolling. 40% of the weight would be carried by out-of-staters who would be paying that. And we need that money. We could speed up Metro North for the folks who are commuting from Fairfield County down here by 10 or 15 minutes in just 5 or 6 years if we could make those investments.
I imagine one of the challenges or headwinds in recent years has been, the dependence in parts of the state on Wall Street, on the financial economy, which has been in shrink mode, right, since the financial crisis. I mean, is there a way to counteract that, or is it bottomed, do you think?
Look, we got UBS, we have RBS, we have
commuters.
But for the commuters, we have as many people commuting out as commuting in now, so that's a change. But our world is changing. The UBS building, an enormous building there, the largest trading floor in the world, it's going to be the largest digital production center within a couple of years when World Wrestling Entertainment takes that over. Yeah. So whether finance is going to be as key to our future as it was, or maybe it's more consolidated here, digital media, health sciences, a lot of other things are moving in.
Did the elimination of the state and local tax deduction unfairly punish your state?
Yeah, it did.
What's been the impact?
It makes folks, upper middle class, even more tax aware. When you can't deduct that, it's cost us probably a couple of $2 billion in lost tax revenue. And we're already what they call a donor state. I mean, President Trump is running up close to $1 trillion deficit, and Connecticut still spends tens of billions more to Washington than we get back.
Governor, you are, it's well reported, a wealthy man. And ahead of 2020, a lot of the Democratic candidates are talking about introducing a wealth tax of some form, increasing the taxes that wealthy people pay. How would you, in your position, think is the fairest way and the most effective way for that to be delivered?
I got to tell you, I got to focus on Connecticut, and I'm tough on not raising tax rates in Connecticut.
But it's going to come in probably from the Democratic side. Is there capital gains tax?
At the federal level,
yeah,
you mean? We're not going to do any of that
at the federal level. What would be your advice? The best way for that to be imposed?
To be cautious. Look, I don't think you want to be talking about raising a lot of big new taxes at this point. But certainly, if you're going to do it, do something like that at the federal level. You can't expect the states to take the lead. We're in a very competitive world. I got to do everything I can to keep the best and the brightest in Connecticut or coming to Connecticut.